How you been, boy? I've been trying to figure out how to squeeze gaming and other hobbies in because of starting, my new job. It's swell. Uh, it's different for sure. I mean, I have a large pool of staff, and then I also have like all the kids I'm working with for coaching and whatnot. So I have like a pool of 100 new people, and it's just like I can't remember everyone's name just yet. Yeah. Welcome. I have us on a starting stream soon screen, so. Is your mic good, Cody? Alright, your mic is working. I'm gonna take your profile pic, crop it a little bit, and then start the stream in like a couple minutes. What team do you play for, Cody? Oh, hype. Right. Right. Boys ready? Right. You guys got this stream open? Because that's where you're gonna pull your info when it comes to drafts and whatnot. Alright, just switch it over. Alright. Welcome to Tidecast, AGL playoffs round of 12. Today we have Not So Dark and Cody's McLean.
Hello. Hello. And we have X.
Yeah, dude, we have me hosting it.
Yeah, then introduce yourself.
I know. It's because everyone's just supposed to know who I am.
Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Um. So have you guys looked at any of the playoff matches so far?
Yeah, I looked at all of them. There's
at-
what, 3 matches happened so far?
Yeah.
This is the 4th one that's happening today.
Yeah, the fourth one's happening today. We'll have to cover it next week. And then
Yeah.
we'll first one that we'll be talking about is Rockefellers and Going Boosters. So this is post screen and draft info.
Nocturne R1, my goat.
Dude, the early Nocturne is just like the scariest thing.
My goat. Yeah.
The early Nocturne
is just
like the scariest thing.
I don't know, bro. The Seraphine Senna, first 2 as well. I don't know. Thing for me is like they want to flex Seraphine, but like I don't know, that just projects it going bot pretty hard too. So
I can defend Senna Seraphine if you do a carry top, but then they did Garen. Like their draft seems really confused there.
It's an interesting draft for sure. But I feel like B and Seraphine is always fine, but neither of the teams like prioritizing Jarvan and prioritizing Nocturne over Jarvan, Seraphine over Jarvan, or Tristana either. Like B1 Tristana is also good right now, which kind of like is interesting to me. but they also picked Seraphine Senna, and then picked Ziggs too. So like they have a lot of range poke siege. Where else the other team is just go in, hope the enemy team is unable to outplay you.
The thing that's also weird is like Garen doesn't fit the draft at all. Like they have a very you want like disengage or more poke or like a frontline with CC, and like Garen doesn't meet any of those.
Yeah, I don't feel like the Garen is particularly a good fit. I feel like if you're going to play Seraphine Senna Ziggs, then you need some like heavy frontline tank instead of a bruiser. And they did win. Like I guess it doesn't matter at the end of if you're just better. I wanted to ask Cody. You said going Ghost boost was gonna win 3-0. What made you say that?
Listen on that. Yeah, my go boosters. I don't know. I thought it was gonna be boosted spot, and then they're gonna put what was their other mid laner. I think it's like Fruits or something. I was the last time I played against them, I was getting kind of violated. So I had high hopes for him, but then they just didn't play him. So kind of messed up my predictions a bit. I mean, it was mainly meme, but like I think they would have had a better chance. I don't know a lot about their AD carry, but yeah, I think
I do like their draft a lot. Like you have clear Shen Nocturne combo. They do have the option of front to back with Nautilus and Shen, and then Triss and Mira are your damage dealers, but I don't know how they got the choice for counter picks, and they went Shen into Garen when they have no AP. And pretty much every AP champion can play even into Garen.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. True.
I feel like if you dive into a lot of team compositions in our bracket of play, it's always gonna be like, but that doesn't work into that anyways. People just pick comfort most of the time, and they prioritize what's like easier to play, in my opinion. I actually watched most of these games, and like I feel like it wasn't like close when they were losing. Like boosters, going boosters was losing pretty hard, and even though you're picking something that's like should be comfort and situational, you could have just could have picked better champions, in my opinion, and just done better. But I don't know. I don't think boosters did bad. I think people were not flaming, but criticizing his mid lane. I feel like he's obviously not as good at crits. Because I've seen him play in another league, and he's a pretty decent mid laner. Obviously, Cody himself, he said it. He was good. So I don't know about this change. I definitely think if he was playing mid lane, either definite lesbian or boosters, they probably would have had a better chance playing the game out, just because he's just a better mid laner. I don't think boosters was bad by any means either.
I mean,
he also played Malphite mid, by the way, which is kind of like a.
Hey, dude, why are you spoiling this? Come on. Dude, I'm very confused on like how Shen is over 4,000 gold behind Garen.
I think Shen was just trying to help the team, and I don't remember exactly, but I feel like when you do put yourself into this pigeonhole of like go in on one carry and then you're not able to execute, then the other side automatically just wins, right? And then their option of picking Garen hitting turrets kind of works pretty easily.
Like, this isn't even the supportive
it's no
Shen
flash
build.
Shen.
Like,
it's no flash then either. I just saw that. My bad.
Yeah, he went no flash and lost his sword. Like, he also, presuming the Sunfire's first item, he could have just went Heartsteel second, and you at least have a 40% health scaling on the shield for allies. and you can do something with that, but like this team comp can't go late because they're against double enchanters with double bruisers on opposing team, and they have no AP. So like, I don't know why Garen did Berserker Greaves, but Jarvan got the memo, he bought Ninja Tabbies. Samir got the memo, bought Ninja Tabbies.
Yeah, that's like a very heavy oversight. Then building all AD champions, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I think that also, I don't know, Shen players, like most of them even, like they'll just like unconditionally ult anyways, like regardless of their lane state. So like they'll just like drop, like they're gonna be like a like 9-10 minion stack wave, and they'll just like alt bot for fun, and then they just lose the game if the play fails. So you can lose like very easily on Shen if you like fail one play. Feels kind of, I don't know, it feels similar to like Twisted Fate if you, or like Nocturne even, like these champs with like high impact global ults, but like you mess up one and the snowball like gets stopped and then you just lose the game.
I mean, you can see that Shen had the least gold in the. I mean, as much as I can see, obviously maybe Nautilus had less than him.
Make
But
the draft invis and can look at the
it just tells me that he was like just running around trying to help the team, which is just not the way you can win the game, especially if you're yeah, Nautilus had less than him, but
Yeah,
even then, like he didn't have like a lot. He had very little. Go 4K down for no. As
This
a
is-
like Shen is good early. Like he's
this
just
is
a
a food shelter Shen game.
Yeah, I feel like if you're just going to be on eco and then your only job is to run around and help your two marksmen, just go in and press R, then you just build support items at that point.
Yeah.
These they're cheaper.
Seems like a pretty hard to execute comp for like a game one scenario. Like I would want to try and like ease into the series, but they're playing like a lot of like high tempo like Nocturne Shen plus like a really like mechanically difficult champion and like Samira to try and like run over the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit rough, but
the booster straff is heavier on the execution side. Because
I mean, it's just game one. We don't know what the other games draft like were. Maybe that's just their comfort. Or even I say comfort again, but more like that's just the playstyle they like. Maybe I don't know.
I'll pull up game 2.
Have Cody, have you ever played Rockefellers?
I've never played a Rockefellers. One of my teammates is like low key just like a Rockefellers player in like our jersey. So yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully he'll give us some insight, but I feel like he wants them to win more than us if we ever play. So you never know.
Rockefellers, like, they're really fun to play against because they have like all these weird ass drafts most of the times, and they play like I don't know if they do it every game, but they're like pretty aggressive too. So I guess it'll be fun for you guys because you are pretty aggressive early. At least your junglers.
The Seraphine again. I'm falling asleep, bro. Oh my god. Seraphine again. Not again.
I mean, they picked Lee Sin.
yeah, this is Lee Sin on the blue side.
That's an interesting pick into Ziggs, and then
Yeah.
instantly
Well,
pick
it's
Ezreal the Morgana.
I don't know why, really, because early Ziggs kind of tells you that I either want to siege or poke, and Lee Sin isn't really the answer to either of those. Like, Lee Sin's good for teamfight comps and also decent disengage, so maybe it's specifically jungle matchup and knocking Jarvan away when he tries to go in. Which, like,
Yeah, maybe he's just playing defense again. Like at least players can just play the press R on the enemy engage, but I feel like he's so useless in this game. He can't kick. He shouldn't be able to kick anybody into his team. Realistically, I think everybody
There's
has some sort of
that.
tools to get away.
And Bruce's draft kind of just makes it to where it works because they didn't draft any engage after the Lee Sin. So this is kind of like Jarvan is solo engage against a Poppy, where like, what are you going to do that game?
Yeah,
Especially because they answer they also do the Vigar. So like Jarvan has to play around V Cage and Lee Sin kick. So unless they're just out poking them with Ziggs Ezreal, like I'm not sure what they can do this game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like even in this comp, like Ezreal, Ziggs, Morgana, they're like really good poke for poking, and then Jarvan, Gwen can just all in whenever they're low enough.
This Veigar pick stun locked me. I'm like still looking at it. I hate it so much, but
You
I
don't like
know.
the Vig pick here?
Well, I just think that it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of worked out, but like I see they were like forced to flex it bot lane because it's like I don't know. I don't like the matchup mid very much for Viger and like
So it's
they
actually
just
Vig support, I believe.
yeah, I
It's like a
know.
support
Like,
item.
yeah, they picked they put it support, but then it's also playing into like Morgana, so it's just like it feels bad in both roles. It feels bad in mid and support this game, but they still win, so like whatever, I guess. So.
I watched this game, not a lot, like all of it, but those Morgana shields need to come down faster, bro. There's no way this bottom lane is like so winning for red side, and
Yeah, it should be.
there's somehow we're not
Well,
winning.
like, actually, when you think about this, you put Vig bot lane, Ezreal can hop over the wall and Morg can black shield herself and walk out.
Yeah, and Ezreal's like good into server too, so it's like you're not winning any part of the matchup, but it just didn't matter.
Rockefeller's won anyways. Silver has 8 kills here with top damage. This was
Yeah,
sub 22-minute game.
a very fast game for. I guess Lee Sin was able to just pop off here like 14 KP.
Yeah.
He was pretty influential in the game.
14 out of 22.
Yeah. That's interesting. Again, I feel like a lot of these drafts are. You can pick the best champions. It's not gonna give you the results you.
Yeah, I hate blue so much, but
You can pick the best champions. It's not gonna give you the results you.
I think they sent Surfing and Vigor to the wrong lanes, but
The other thing that is interesting is Gwen is the counter pick into Ornn, and Gwen's 1 in 5 this game.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but Gwen should not be down this bad. Down like 1500 against Ornn.
yeah, I mean you can lose lane early into Ornn on Gwen. It was probably just like him not being patient, and then also the game is only 20 minutes, right? So he's never gonna actually have like an opportunity to like style on him in the side lane like later on.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He probably just got impatient and like got soloed early on, like level 3 or something, and then or like got chunked and couldn't play.
Yeah.
Game 3.
Yeah.
Game 3.
Please no Seraphine.
I don't want to jinx it.
Okay, no Seraphine.
They banned it. They were like, whatever. They just be on it every time. That's very funny.
Like Malphite into Yone. This could be Jace top. Malphite actually beats Yone and Jace. So dude, this
Yeah, I don't think it
Jace
was
is 1 in 9.
Oh, this wasn't a 3-0?
No, it was not. It was 4 games.
3-1. It was a 3-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
They really just like fucked Messiah this game and just like 3-banned him, and then he picked Jace and sprinted it down.
You went 1 in 9. Holy shit. He did not. He was not playing the game.
So
But also, sorry, go ahead. Not playing the game.
this is Malphite answering to Jace, which is kind of what I was thinking. I'm surprised by Nocturne top into Yone. I've never seen this matchup before, so I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah, into Yone. I guess Nocturne runs into any melee matchups now. Like, melee fighters.
It's kind of hard for most melees to beat him because once he lands Q, which he should because he's melee range, you can't outrun his E fear, and then you're feared for I think it's 1.5 seconds
It's
early.
It's such a disgusting ability in the game.
And then it scales to like 2 or 2.5, so like even overset champs like Yone probably can't deal with Nocturne.
Yeah.
Um,
He's just he's literally a stat checker, but he has a lot of AD for no reason. And if you're fighting him in wave, then he just heals off of it because of his passive. And I feel like he's really strong, and especially because they picked it early. I just don't know why they didn't just keep him jungle though. Like I think Nocturne with Karthus is a good matchup. They can just both farm to 6.
Yeah.
Seems like Karthus is a lot this game.
They might have had idea to like the combo of Nocturne, Maokai, Malphite is just you have so much engage potential. They probably wanted to combine some of these abilities, or maybe like if something goes missing, Ornal, and then Twitch has such long range that he can kind of decently follow Nocturne Malphite, and Nami has her support wave, so I think they actually came in a draft with the plan.
That is interesting. I also feel like why Nami? Why not Lulu? That is interesting.
Yeah, I think there's kind of diminishing returns with CC. Like once, if someone CC till death, and then you have like 2 more seconds of CC does like nothing, and I do think Lulu would have been better, because either buffing Twitch or Nocturne, depending on the scenario, could have done a lot more than Nami can.
Yeah, Nami Wave just gets stopped by Braum, and well, I'm pretty sure they're not really thinking about all the supports when they're picking their one. It's just she's also like the best pairing with Twitch, right? Something that's like not super weak early like Yumi, but also like strong late game, or like decently strong late game. I feel like I don't know. I feel like drafting as a overview is really hard to judge because in the moment you're like, oh, this champion looks good here, and then the enemy just picks something and you're like, huh, well, I guess not that good.
I think that Lulu also just like helps Twitch like survive like the nuclear strike of Karthus, so you can actually like team fight.
There's that, and also Lulu can just shut down Yone when he goes in, but they didn't know it was Yone just yet.
I feel like maybe that's their reasoning is like Nami heals, Lulu doesn't. I don't know. Like they all obviously have a poke with Ezreal Jace already, so they could be thinking that Nami can heal you a little bit, but then just go Soraka. Like I don't know. Anyways,
can we talk
drafting.
About the 51k damage Karthus?
Yeah, I was gonna. I did say that he had no flash. He was just in there. He was just in there playing the game.
I saw Smite Karthus went wild.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Like in solo queue, you'll see this, and Karthus no flash is like actually not bad, because your goal is to die, right? Especially in like good team fights. But like they pull it off. Like even they lost this game, like he did as best as he could. Like he probably like won a lot of the fights, like close games or whatever, close fights. Because like Yona did nothing that game, and neither did Jace. I feel like they were just useless. Just by looking at it, obviously. Yona also has Hellbreaker.
Yeah, it's a hard game to play, Yone. Like, any split pusher is basically unplayable against Nocturne, and then if you get hit by Nocturne plus Maokai ult or Nocturne plus Malphite ult, you just die from full.
Yeah.
Pull up the last game. Yeah.
Last game. Wow, they love Nami.
Dude, they really do. And I'm surprised we see Garen again.
It's a surprise. I see Nocturne mid, Warwick top on on
Dude,
red.
he went
They were
in.
cooking.
He's
Nah,
like,
they were cooking.
dude, I can't win on my normal picks, like Gwen into Orin. We're gonna play Nocturne top and then Warwick top.
This is
Dude,
crazy.
they went out swinging.
Honestly, I can respect that. I can respect trying to play something, even though
I don't think
it
this is a
didn't
great
really work
Warwick
out.
game, actually. Like, the thing Warwick absolutely demolishes are, like, the mechanic fighters. He's not the best into juggernauts. And then having to play Warwick into Lulu and Zaya is just not good because all he can really do is go in.
I feel like the game was 0-4, so I think Warwick did what he wanted to do. I don't know why they put Nocturne mid though. Because like you're not playing for your
I'm
bot
not sure
lane.
what. I think they probably just early picked Nocturne to flex it between top jungle and mid. And then they already picked the Poppy. And mind you, you could have just played Poppy into Garen and chilled. And then picked a different mid or jungle. But
Yeah.
they go for high roll with Warwick top here, and I don't think it was for the best.
I mean, they clearly picked Poppy for Jarvan, right? But then
Yeah.
I don't know the reasoning. Obviously, like we would never know why Nocturne was so early. Like they're not gonna pick Nocturne. Like Rockefellers are not gonna pick Nocturne after what they already picked, right? So why not just pick your bot lane like a safer laner or whatever, and then get priority straight with something other
I think they
than
pigeonholed too hard. Like, they could have either flexed Nocturne and then picked a power pick, like a good ADC into Jarvan.
yeah.
But instead
Maybe there's so
they,
many ADCs open and they picked Wayne.
yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. What ADC do you think goes here? Because I don't think it's Vayne.
I mean, in theory, you can when Jarvan Rs you, you can just E him into his own thingy, but you're still stuck in there. Like other people can still hit you. Like anything that has a dash, like Lucian, Zeri, is like really get into Jarvan because you can just get out of it. That like he's never ever catching you, and it's like picking Jinx into a Jarvan, and you're like, okay, well if I don't have flash, we're losing the fight. It's kind of the same situation.
How is the Vayne Zaya matchup?
It's kind of the same situation. I think Vayne is just stronger champion than Zaya at the moment. I could be wrong. I I only play Zaya. I don't play Vayne at all. But I could be wrong. I feel like she's definitely like Vayne is just better with items right now, so she probably wins. I don't know.
Cody, do you have any comments about this game?
I mean, I don't know. This Nocturne's
unlocked.
pissing me off now. This Nocturne's pissing me off.
Dude, that's so
Cody just
insane.
unlocked from this
They click
these
too
rounds.
hard.
It's just sitting there like you're playing against Talia. It's like she can like she sees you like pathing bot. She can like follow you bot. She can like she also has like a good ulti to follow you. She's like I don't know. It's just easier to play against Nocturne if you see him on vision and like you can like sense when you're gonna get ulted as opposed to just like you know him being like off vision, whatever. And I think it was a lot better into Yone because like it interrupts his like trading patterns a lot more because like you can spell shield his like knockup and he wants a short trade with you, but if you spell shield it, then he's not gonna like fight you after he like gets his knockup like spell shielded. So it's kind of just like stonewalls him. Whereas this like whatever you sit there, you AFK, and then Talia's just gonna 1v9 in the late game.
Do you think it's?
Yeah.
Do you think it's they picked Nocturne because it worked the last game?
I mean,
They
yeah,
just
I
everything
think
is
really
Can't be anything other than that, because they probably were so confident in the Nocturne they didn't think about their second pick as hard.
right.
And I bet like their seconds dropped down and they picked Poppy just cause they wanted Poppy for Jarvan. But if you hold off on this Poppy pick, not only can you go for a different jungle, Poppy might not be targeted because they know Nocturne can just go jungle and it's possible to be a wasted ban.
Yeah, but like, can't you? I think you mentioned this earlier, but like, can't you just send the Poppy top and like?
Yes,
just,
you can.
like,
I don't know why they didn't.
Drop the ego for a bit and then just like function the same way in the late game and just like deny the Jarvan in and just try and go even. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I also feel like you have R5 and then you R1 Nocturne. Like, I don't think you want to play Nocturne into something like a Talia that actually loves playing into melee champions.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this is a free Q E trade. Like, I don't even care if he spell shields my W.
Yeah.
I just get free damage, which is crazy to me.
I'm pretty sure Oprah, when the free said, "You pick me, Warwick, we win the game," and they trusted, but they trusted too hard, and then they lost this game 4. Because Nocturne mid into Aaliyah sounds like a death sentence, and Warwick just doesn't have the stats to beat Garen early. Garen's like surprisingly durable, level 1, so unless it's a full all-in, I don't think Garen can ever die.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of crazy to see actually. I'm looking at the band and the band Camille like early, so they were going for a Garen anyways. Like they didn't even know that they were gonna pick Nocturne Poppy shit. They just wanted Garen, and that's kind of crazy to me.
Just, I don't know. The thing with Talia is like, you like, one, love playing in the melees, and two, like, Talia's not gonna like win super hard against Nocturne in terms of like a bunch of solo kills or whatever, but like as long as you just have wave on your side and like stay away from like some Nocturne cheese, you can just kill for free.
Is like, Talia has lane prio, like the entire lane. I don't know how Nocturne's ever roaming unless it's off of recall.
I think it depends. I think if Nocturne gets a basin and he's not super behind and they both hit 6, like I think there is potential to like 100 to 0, which would make Talia a little bit nervous to like play super aggressively. But I mean, you can just match roams whenever. You can just react to his roams and like be there on his timer, and you're gonna outscale him. I think that's the real problem here.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time where Nocturne mid was actually really good. That was like a while ago. And you could, your whole goal to play that champion was you go into lane, you use your passive, you use your Q, and you one-shot the wave and you walk away and after 6, and then there's nothing the enemy laner can do. But I feel like into a champion like Talia that can just as easily match your wave clear after she gets chapter, it's just like, oh, Talia can also just one-shot the wave, and then she can also just roam like I can, so it's kind of useless. But I feel like what X said is probably true. Like the top might have said like, okay, this is such a good matchup, guys. Just let me have Orvik, and we win. And then it didn't.
I don't know. That old Nocturne was so dumb though, because it made it so OP, because you could literally tank like all the harass you wanted while shoving it, and you just like heal most of it back on your shove, and then you'd still be full HP on the roam. So it's like,
that was like
not a thing anymore.
The most fun I had playing mid lane ever. Walk in, buy a Tiamat, like because I don't remember what, I think Tiamat was bought from like it was pretty easy to build it early, like Alan would build it too and everything, and you would just buy it and just chill, push the wave and walk away, kill ADCs because ADCs are like the weakest role. IMO. Push the wave and walk away. Not biased, by the way.
Alright. I love the copium. Alright, so next match is Conduit Esports Kraken versus Literal Monkeys Gold.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Before, before all of these, I'm just gonna ask Cody what his prediction was.
Kraken 3-0, and it was looking dicey at the start, and then they brought it back, but I don't know, man. This Kiora guy, great player, but sometimes you gotta drop the side waves, and like, I don't know, I saw too many times in the series where they were just like super split going to objectives,
Right.
And they'd have their carries on the wrong side, so they'd just like turn on the like random like backliner that's just like in a side lane catching the wave before drag, and then they just lose the game off it. So, I don't know. It was super frustrating. I think it was a good series, winnable for both sides, but like I don't know, the Monkeys just played better together. I think that Kraken's better individual players, but Monkeys were just bringing it together and playing well as a team.
I mean, you say that. I mean, I played in BOL last Wednesday, and then I played against Bury and Stop Capping, and that seemed like a really easy matchup for the team I was playing for. And I was really surprised that Crow wasn't able to get any leads into Donut, because I felt playing against him as mid laner, I felt like he was just trying too much. He was like going for too much shit. He was just trying to make plays. He was just trying to get solo leads, and I was like, okay, well, because he died under my turret like twice, I think. He's like trying to tower dive me, and he's like trying too much. But in these games, like throughout all like the whole series, like he was consistently just doing better than Crow, I think. Which is just like surprising, because I think she's one of the better. Well, not as good as Cody, obviously, but one of the better mid laners.
See, okay, I'm checking on draft. Also, the Monkeys support this guy who's playing Thresh. I don't know how many games he got. I think it was like 2 or maybe 3. This guy was smurfing the entire like series. He was playing out of his mind. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was hitting a lot of hooks,
Yeah,
which was crazy.
good.
Anyways, what do you think about the draft? Alright, before X says anything, I don't think Kai says B1, but I feel like you can still B1 her. She's okay. But is she like better than the jungle picks you have, like Maokai or something? Probably not. So I was surprised that Monkey would had so much priority on Kaisa, and then Kraken just couldn't do anything. And that's just my personal opinion. I don't feel like Kaisa is that broken that you just have to B1 her. She's obviously really good as an ADC, like top 3, I guess. But there's other 2 that you can play, and then you have a Ziggs.
Have you fiddled with this new Kaisa build at all?
Yeah, I have. And the one game I played in comp with that, I lost. So
yeah, that's proof.
my solo queue, Windred, it says otherwise. My solo queue was like, I was popping off because I was practicing on solo queue with that build, and I was like, holy shit, this is broken. Then I played in comp, and I was like, huh, guess I need 5 kills to start going off.
So what is it, like a better like Q breakpoint now?
So,
is that why they build Umbroglaive?
There's multiple Kaisa builds. There's the AP build with like the Nashers and Rabadons. There's the AD build with, well, the hybrid build with like Static, Rageblade, and Nashers. That's like fallen out of favor. And there's this new build where you go Umbral into Dustblade into Nashers. And the thought process is Umbral is the cheapest item you can buy, and then you still hit your 2 item spike for the Q evolve. And then with that extra ability haste, you're a lot burstier and you reach your spikes quicker.
Well, I mean, yeah, but also like it's not. You make it seem like it's really like whatever. But with Umbral plus 1 Dirk, you get Q evolve, and because Umbral is so cheap, you get it like super early, right?
Yeah, so it's the
Like,
breakpoint. Yeah.
I was getting it in all my solo queue games, even with the one that I lost was super early. And then all of that aside, at level 10, if you have 3 items, which are like your core 3 items, you have all upgrades. And that's like crazy. Like obviously you probably won't have all 3 items by level 10 most games unless you're like uber fed. But if you're probably like level 13ish, level 12, 13, you would have like all 3 items because they're super cheap. And you have all 3 upgrades, and you're like a monster mid laner, mid game player. Just kind of crazy. But yeah, which is interesting because I feel like you have all this gold early on, and if the enemy team is just like, alright, you're stronger, we just won't fight you, eventually you'll just fall off. And I feel like he didn't in this game. Like Kaisa was popping off all games that they played.
Yeah. I will say I'm surprised to see that Gwen went Proto Belt. and looks like third item Zonia's. Like, with Sag Gwen pairing, I would assume Ornn would get absolutely pub stomped so hard he couldn't play the game, and he's 700 gold different on Gwen.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what Proto Belt achieves in this game. Maybe he thinks he needs to catch up to Ziggs. Yeah, I don't know what Proto Belt.
I really
but like
don't
you have
know.
Nico
Like,
Sejuani to do it for you and Blitzcrank.
Gwen has very locked-in mythic options.
Yeah, you just do Nashers into Riftmaker. I don't know. You don't have to think about it. Yeah, you just do Nashers. In my opinion, obviously everybody has different.
And then,
but like,
I don't know.
what about this MF build?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Dude, I was talking to
Okay.
Militia yesterday, and he said if you go crit MF, you have to go IE. And I'm seeing a Zori here.
Okay, so he did this in Titan the other week. I think they lost there too, unfortunately. But so people were asking why he did it. I think Dilly was the one who was asking it, and I didn't even know. And I looked at the build. I was like, "Whoa, what? Are you just building random items?" And he was like, "No." So he was talking to me about breakpoints, and he said, "Theoretically, this is better." And I was like, "I just don't think so, because one of these items is also supposed to be rapid fire cannon, which I feel like is just a useless item on Misfortune.
Yeah, it's a dead item for sure.
So it's like Navori, and it's not even the build order. I forgot the build order. Navori, Mana Moon, Rapid Fire, and like one more item that I'm forgetting.
I think he rushed
Probably
Mana
like
Moon.
Collector or something.
I don't know, but this is like the build is really weird to me. But it's also like I think one of his explanation was like you're not only playing for your ultimate. Like this can have you auto attack too, and I was like, but you can do that on your crit. So I feel like it's just his preferred build. I don't think it's good, but I don't know.
Mid game I saw him and he like finished Mana Immune with like 150 stacks. I don't know if MF has like a problem stacking it with the
She kinda does.
completed item. Yeah, maybe she does. I was confused by that because I saw like 150 stack Mana Immune bot first, and I'm like, you are actually worthless for like the next 5 minutes because like Kaisa's gonna be coming back with like Umbral plus like Serrated Dirk, and you're gonna have like Mana Immune plus like 2 Longsword, and it's not even completed. I was like really worried.
Like ADCs buy Mana Immune first because you can start proccing it off of auto attacks, and a lot of ADCs have their mana cost gimped to the point where they can't stack Mana Immune effectively or tier effectively. But
yeah,
I just think there's better options for Misfortune, and Dark brings up a good point because MF has attack speed steroid on W. If you just give her attack damage and crit, she has a decent amount of damage after she ults.
Yeah, I mean she's a really easy champion. There's nothing in the champions where mechanics matter, and so her kit is like supposed to be super easy, right? And you can build anything, and it can work. But I also feel like if you wanted to auto attack, which I don't think you wanna in this game anyways, like I don't know who you're trying to auto attack, maybe Thresh, Ornn. But like Lilia's gonna run away, Ziggs is gonna play from another screen, Kaisa's gonna dive you when she can, otherwise she's just not playing in your screen either. And then I feel like if you want to build auto attack, just build Kraken into, I don't know, Infinity Edge or something. And you still have auto attack damage, and your ultimate still scales with the crit anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting build for sure. But do we think the build would have mattered winning the game though?
no.
Yeah.
I would say build probably matters a bit here because if you have a third item crit here instead of like Mana Immune, then speccing into Last Whisper will help you a lot with Ornn later. But to hit like 60% crit on 4th item is kind of a sin against our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, he's also building Bloodthirster right after these two items.
Yeah, I don't think
Not even
Bloodthirster
less
is
whisper.
gonna be great here. I mean, it helps with the poke. Yeah, I guess he's getting poked by Ziggs, Kaisa, and Lily is bowling ball, but you have Sejuani and a Blitzcrank just stand behind them. If you can't conga the line, you should. I don't know how you're playing comp.
I think that
That's
I don't know, a big blunder from or not like a blunder, but I'm saying like I think the main like downfall of this game particularly is like you look. I play a lot of Nico, like it's one of like my better champs I think, and like the problem with Nico especially if there's like a big pressure point in favor of Ziggs in this matchup, like the thing is you want blind, like if you're picking blind Nico, you're confident that you can pressure most lanes because it can function well into control mages, puts a lot of pressure on them, has good gank setup and can burst them, and then it also has good peel against the like assassin picks and also can peel them off too with their ultimates. So you need to have like a lot of pressure from this pick particularly, and then you would assume that Kraken would want to just like rip team fights like whenever they can in the mid game because they're getting outscaled to shit this game, right? And I saw them kind of just like obviously if they're losing a lot of lanes, it's gonna be hard to find the team fights, but they need to fight at like one or two items, like get like big team fights in order to win the game. If they just sit back, they're gonna get outscaled very hard. So
yeah. I also feel like there's R5 Blitzcrank.
Exactly.
Could have just been a mid lane counter pick, so you could have done better.
You
I don't know.
change your priority from making sure mid is like stable and you can play around it, or at least have mid move around the map to help, to prioritizing being a counter pick on support, and you already kind of know what you want to play. Like Kaisa doesn't pair well with anything that heals, and you have MF who can poke from range with E and Q. So just like give yourself a poke champ for MF to dominate Kaisa, or alternatively, if you want to play through bot or have the potential to, just pick a melee support so Sedge comes bot, it's like 3 seconds of CC or more.
Yeah, I feel like you just pick R4 Nautilus and then like pass a Nautilus, even if you don't know they're playing like they want to play Thresh, and like you're still assuming what MF wants to do anyways. You press R on somebody, MF presses R. Call it a day.
Also opens up their bans. Say ban Nautilus instead of R4ing Nautilus.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting because obviously they banned it because guys are Nautilus, right? So why not just take it? Like I don't think it's a bad champion. Plus, fits your comp a little bit better. It gets you more engages. Blitzcrank is super dependent on landing a hook, and I don't know how many he did this game because I didn't.
yeah. The flame. No, it wasn't flame. I just took it as that way. I don't think he landed many. That's why I took it as flame.
I actually did not see this game, so this was not a flame. Usually I would just say this if it was flame, but no.
You whipped a lot, but
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's hard. It's not his fault, like 100%. Like, but it's hard to land on all like Blitzcrank hook over a Nautilus, right? Or just point and click R. It's like super easy.
I think it's hard to like flame the R5 support too much because, like, for example, Crow needs to be able to. I think I know her champ pool a little bit, and I think it doesn't have like many like super good counters or like super aggressive picks into some of these like Stonewall mage picks. So I don't blame them too much for giving support counter pick. It's obviously going to look bad when they like run it down right in the game, but
yeah,
I don't want them to leave mid till last and then they see Ziggs and they just pick some like even lane, right?
I think even if you don't have a counter pick, this game shows that they didn't have the potential to dominate bot lane with support pick. So you might as well have stalemated mid and had lanes you could play through top and bot. Because having a mid start to implode, like when Zig starts getting ahead, like he's 6-0-11 this game, I imagine they dropped a Herald towards mid.
Yeah.
He used his W. At that point, the game's so accelerated that the rest of the map can't answer, especially when Gwen usually doesn't do much until sometimes level 6, but usually first item.
But I do agree with Cody. I mean, I haven't played a lot against Crow, but I feel like her champ pool is just control mages, and if you know that somebody's champ pool is just control mages, then you're like, it doesn't matter what I like. I can pick Ziggs, I can pick whatever champion, and she can never counter it. So I guess it makes sense to just blind it and hope that your support counter is better. Because I do think Blitzcrank is a good pick into Thresh, but I don't think it mattered this game.
Yeah, I think both sides have points. I'm just going off like the basis that like I know that Nico can win this lane like favorably in isolation. So like them getting like the Rift tier, like I 100% agree with X. Like that was definitely what happened. They just dropped Rift. They dropped it tier 1 at like 12 minutes or something crazy and just had like complete control over the game. But that's not what should happen in this game. That's why I'm arguing about it. But like, you know, you can't like if the game doesn't go out how you expect it to go, then like the picks don't really matter at that point. Like you didn't execute the plan that you wanted, so you could have picked any champ and you probably would have lost. Not really, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
I think especially in this Elo bracket, I feel like it's more about the mistakes you make in game rather than the champions you're piloting. A lot of the times, you're like, oh, this champion is theoretically better than this champion, and you're just hinting on the better champion. Then it's not the champion's fault; it's your fault, basically.
They just need to fight more. Like I need like they need to team fight like badly. I understand Gwen probably wants a sideline, but they need to take 4v4s and like force Ziggs around. Like the Ziggs can't be sitting in mid lane forever and just doing nothing.
I mean, Gwen's actually one of the best split pushers to team fight with because she walks into a fight and then she's untargetable by ranged DPS for like 4 seconds. And then she's a frontline muncher because of how much percent health true damage she has. So her goal is kind of just like you push out a lane, you make Ornn answer it, and then you walk to mid, or you TP if you have TP advantage, and you go from there. And they do have this setup to start fights with Sedge Blitz, and then Nico follow up is huge.
Yeah, they have a lot of ways, even from behind, to get a team fight that can go their way. Like they can win a team fight like 4v4 on this bot side, even without Gwen, like down a bit of gold, depending on like if Nico gets like a big flank or whatever, or someone oversteps and they just like send it with Sedge. But they just bled out really hard in this game, and it was unfortunate because I think that their bot side, like jungle down to support, like they could have been a lot more active even if they were behind in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, you can see in the kill thing, it just looks like they had a lead and they kept it. I mean, you can see in the kill.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't even have to get the kills. I just need like they could have just completely ended the game off the team fights, but like they needed to like try because they're never winning this game at like 30 minutes plus. Like it ended at 30 minutes, but it's in blue side's favor. Like it should. I don't know. They just need to pull the trigger, even if they lost the game. You can't bleed out like that. Really, it's like I don't know. It's I rather lose like knowing that we tried to play our game than just bleed out, because I just like boom after game 1 if we just did nothing and just like rolled over. That's like the worst thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. That feels bad.
Yeah.
When you're just losing and you're like not even trying, or you can't. Like I don't know. But yeah, it makes sense. When you're just losing and you're like not even trying, or you can't. Like I don't know. But yeah, it makes sense. Oh, by the way, this series, the Ornn played Ornn 5 games in a row.
Oh
That's
god.
That was crazy.
Pretty brutal. Oh my god, the Vel'Koz! Let's go! Damn.
Dude, what happened to Kennen? I'm confused.
Okay, I watched this game,
I did.
and I don't think that Kennen was the pick. First of all, he just was never in control of his lane. And I don't think he ever got out of his lane either to make it like a team play.
I think you should be able to control the lane though well, no?
No, so here's the thing. I say Kennen and Mundo are like the most R5 based champions in the game for top lane, I would say. Like, Kennen wants to be playing against 3 like melees, but not like tank melees, because he can't really kill tanks. And this game, Kayn is slippery. You definitely can mess up Kaisa. Janna's going to knock you away. Vel'Koz outranges you. So then Kennen's ideally looking for like a 2-man ult this game. And he has no sustain. Ornn has solid poke. He can at least go corrupting pot. And Kennen really can't punch through Ornn that great.
Yeah.
Unless you're really good at auto weaving.
Having never played that matchup or those champions, well, I have played Ornn a lot, but I feel like Kennen just he probably is stronger 1-5, and then he's just not even hurting Ornn. Ornn just mates the wave, clears the wave, and walks away.
This is one of those matchups where it sounds really dumb, but I think you unironically have to go Leandries and play secondary engage. But looking at their draft, that's the other thing that makes Kennen like a R5 only pick. You need primary engage on your team. They have 2 supplementary engagers with Rakan and Kennen, and then they have a Udyr.
I personally just hate Udyr as a champion.
Udyr is actually, I think it's just to play. I don't know. Kayn's just like
not me personally. I just hate Udyr, but I feel like they never do anything in my team. And they're just running around farming their camps, and then as soon as they try to meet like a team fight, they're like first ones to walk in, but they don't build like tank or anything. They can't tank anything. They die instantly, and I'm like, huh?
I think it's I don't know. I think it's a super high variance champ. I think it's one of those champs where you need to like know your limits super well, because it's either like you 1v9 the fight or you like overstep a little bit too far, because it's like you're like mainly auto based. You don't really have a lot of utility. Like you have a like single target stun, but you need to pick your spots well on Udyr. But I think that Kennen really griefed the game like pre first base. Like it was pretty disgusting to watch. And when your top lane is like really out of the game like super early on, and then you're obviously picking like AFK mid lane, Udyr's gonna have a hard time like full clearing on repeat without getting punished. I don't know what they did to him, but
looking at this game, like the stuff that Conduit has, what lane does Udyr play through? Rakan gets shut down super hard by Janna. Udyr also has to walk at people. Kennen CC is predictable, and Ornn can either buffer it with E or W. And then Aesol has no kill threat on the Vel'Koz.
They needed. I think they should have done like the inverse, but again, like I said before, I think Aesol's a solid option into Vel'Koz, like in isolation. I think it's fine. But if you pick Udyr, I think you want to play through the Udyr.
Yeah,
like, you want to be like playing like 3 quadrants if you can. Like just do anything. Like you want him to like have tempo over the Kayn. It's gonna be hard to like play for the lanes, but like you need to have like a pressure point in one of the solo lanes to enable him, because I don't think he's gonna be like a champ that you want to pick to just like be a utility enabler. Like I don't think that's what you want to be doing on him. So the like him getting out tempoed by the Kayn is just it's a bit doomed.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a champ that wants 2 lanes minimum with prio, so then he can go for invades, because Udyr is a really good stat stick early. But
I mean, Udyr could have ran on the early game, because like neither of these teams are like super early game focused.
Yeah.
And they could have just been like, okay, Udyr, do this, clear your jungle, and then invade, and then you invade topside because you're playing Kennen into Ornn, and you're playing Udyr into Kayn, like nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what happened to Udyr. I do know what happened to top lane though.
Yeah, holy shit.
Wait, give me the scoop on top lane. What happened? Because I imagine Kennen did nothing.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. That he did not do anything. I feel like there was no point in the game where Kennen was remotely ahead of Ornn, or like more useful than Ornn.
I can't remember the specific of what happened, but it was just like one trade level 3 where it was like the most obvious like way you get punished. Just like the classic like stand on top of the pillar and like he's just not playing off it and like autoing the Ornn in the wave while also standing on the pillar. So it's like you're just gonna get fucked. Like it's I don't know.
If you get hit by a single knock up into W auto attack by Ornn as Kennen, you are kind of out of the lane because you lose like 40% of your health.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. He just played the early levels bad, and then I didn't watch this game, but I mean, yeah, they just like Batman needs to be trying to like force out Kane because I'm assuming that if Udyr doesn't get like an early snowball and they're like just like full clearing beside each other, I don't actually know the clear speeds of them. They might clear like even speed, but like
Udyr is faster than literally everybody, I think.
Yeah. That's what I mean, though. That's just like another reason why they need to be playing through this pick here. If they want to play some like AFK pick, like just jam out guy. Like who cares? Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like definitely drafting. They have like 1 or 2 oopsies every draft, and it's like they just don't know what their win condition is in either of these drafts, and then it's just harder champions to pilot. Which it's not to say that the other team didn't play well. I definitely think Jesus Juice and Donut kind of performed really well in the whole series, like overall.
I mean, he's done pretty with Magi's this game.
Yeah, he did the most damage too. So I guess he did pretty good.
I don't know if he did actually.
He did.
He did the most damage too. He did. He did the whole series was.
No, he didn't. This
Wait,
is a
was it the
lie.
Vancouver game?
Kiora was the top damage this
Oh.
game.
No, on his team. But yeah, sure. Look, there's rapid fire right there. There's no man.
Dude, this is a different.
It changes.
Okay, dude, Kiora's build is a huge head scratcher because he went Manamune, Navori, and he was looking for a BT, third item, and now it's Static Shiv, Last Whisper, Navori, and Rapid Fire. And the first game he took Arcane Comet. I'm not sure why, but this game he took. What was that called? First Strike?
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. Like,
Yeah, he took First Strike.
Kira must have like a Google Doc spreadsheet, something. First plugging it in, he's like, yeah, okay, this is the rapid fire game. We're not rushing Manamune first this game. I don't know. So he must know something we don't.
Damn. I have a friend who plays Ornn only top lane, and he had like a guide on Ornn on like every single matchup possible.
Yeah, CZ has one of those too. It's great.
I love one tricks because if you find a one trick for like a champ you play, they'll have a spreadsheet for like every single matchup and every item you should take and like every nuance you could never learn unless you had the same amount of games as they have.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe Kira has one of those.
That's what I mean. He has like the like
one trick. It's like into Kaisa, make sure you go first strike, rapid fire, rush.
It's like into Kaisa, take this, but if you're down 20 CS at this timer, you have to go Shiv to like whatever. Like I don't know. It's some dumb shit. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, this series was something. Penguinos was sleeper though. Actually, this genre was also smurfing too. I think every game he played well.
I mean, next few matches.
We have some ready?
Hope. Yeah.
Alright, let's go for
next few matches.
We have some ready?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go for
Boom.
Ellis Jungle. I mean, they deserve to lose. I'm sorry, I'm saying it right now. They deserve to lose.
Boom. Alright, why would you say that?
Dude, I knew it. Dude, I was gonna say Batman's champ pool is like Sedge, Trundle, Jarvan, Amumu. I'm not sure why you played Udyr game 2.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's like a super heavy like utility jungler, And like if you're playing a like resource reliant champ like Udyr, like you're gonna do nothing if you're like even or behind on Udyr. So like you can't make plays, and if you're not like efficient at like cycling your camps, knowing where they are, knowing when you can walk in, when you can't, like you're gonna be lost in the sauce. So this is a good bounce back game to go a Mumu, and then Jesus Juice just like saw Mumu ult and he was like, oh my god, I'm about to go Silas, and like sure it's fine, but the champ can't clear the jungle, and if it doesn't get a 3 camp gank and get a kill, the champ is like completely useless in the jungle. It's so bad.
So this is a really cocky Silas build to go Dark Harvest.
This is the jungle Silas build. You have to go for one shot.
It's so bad. Like just put Donut in, or just put Diana jungle, please.
I've seen jungle Silas also do first strike.
I mean, yeah.
It's all bad.
It's very like, oh, they have good ultimates kind of a champion, but he only has a Mumu
R4, and all he really has is a Mumu ult, and then he gets absolutely shafted by Zoe Cassante after, like, he has one good ult to use, and then Lulu ult sometimes.
It's so bad. This pick is so bad.
It also sucks that like because he picked Silas, now their mid laner, if they don't pick AD, their top side is all AP, and they pick something like a tank, and they're like the tank is unkillable. It's just I feel like again, gotta get better at drafting.
I think Mundo R4 actually might be good here. I think Mundo R4 actually might be good here.
Also, that Zoe was hovered Casio, and then they picked Zoe, and she overperformed. So I feel like even if the matchup was like a Casio is better, but she's just better at Zoe, which I don't know if they banned after that.
What was the thing about Casio? Were people like claiming that they didn't give Casio?
Yeah. Like I think everybody was saying that Casio is better.
Yeah,
but she's just better at Zoe.
It definitely is, but Casio is like you can still fail it. Like you can still throw your W poorly and just get like blown up. So yeah, I think you can still fail it. But like I just want to ask you guys. I know you, like neither of you play jungle, but I definitely know like how Silas clears and what his HP looks like when he's done 6 camps, and like what happens if a Mumu ever shows on like in your like zip code when you're on Silas at like 150 HP walking into River for Crab. Like, do you just die or like?
It's so disgusting. I've seen people play Silas jungle, and it's so disgusting that one of my friends plays Silas jungle, and he literally half the games. No. Half the time, he bases after his like 3 camps because he's just shafted.
Yeah, no, it's like the champ needs to go like 3 camps into like the freest gank of his life where he has to do nothing but like still like somehow collect a kill, or you just FF if you have to go to your like other quadrant. You're like, if mid laner shows up and like wards my camp, I'm forced off. If jungler just comes, I'm dead. If both of them come, I'm FFing. It's like, I don't know.
It's very hard to play Silas jungle, especially in comp. Because I feel like in solo queue you might get away with it, like when people are not paying attention. But in comp you're like, oh, where's the jungler? And you're like, oh, let me just ward his raptors. Oh, he has 100 health trying to clear after camp.
Unless it's a flex pick and like it's an unplayable mid matchup or like a super bad one, like a Cassie or a Talia or something that you don't want to play into.
Yeah.
And you like flex it as like a cope mechanism, then like sure, but like it's going like it's still a flex, but like I don't know, man. Like I
feel like you flex anything, you R4 Diana, and then
100%. No,
I can't believe the answer was R5 Diana into Zoe, and then Diana didn't do well. When you could have just taken Silas mid into Zoe, which is like unfavorable but playable, and then at least pick a jungle here that can gank mid.
Yeah, you just go Yone R5 here 100%. You can just trade on her freely, and as long as you've played it like once or twice and you know the timing for her drowsy, you just cleanse it and she's doomed. with your E recast. You just cleanse the sleep so she can't play the game.
It is very funny because you also just get a free lane out of that. But
Yeah.
again, like I feel like you just the intention of picking Silas early with like the counters being up, like as like the Casio and other things, use Atelia too. Like you just leave those open and you're like so ballsy picking Silas into like one good ultimate,
Yeah.
and then you get shafted. So I guess yeah, that they deserve to lose.
It's really bad. I only think like Silas outside of like R5, it's like I think it's decent on R3 if you have some protection bans and you see something in the first phase on blue side that you like picking up. But if you're not confident playing into like Zoe's Silas, which I don't think is like super unplayable. I don't think it's good for Silas at all, but I don't think it's unplayable. I think Silas can go even in a lot of lanes with Qmax and just like chill. If you want the team fight ults, you can just like drop the ego and like play for late. But I think that R3 is definitely better because it I don't know, it leaves your options open for like bans and you can protect yourself a bit better. But I don't know. This monkey's draft is vile, like disgusting. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Is vile, like disgusting.
Also, Kira popped up on Zeri as he does usually.
He usually gets 10 CS per minute normally. With Zeri, you actually can't miss creep, so kick that up to 11 CS per minute, and you're winning every gold league.
Exactly. Just ban it, bro. Just ban that champion.
Alright.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just ban it, bro.
Game 4.
Just ban that champion.
Alright.
Yeah. Another Ornn game?
Yeah, you
But
played
they're
Ornn
all
every
Ornn
game.
game. What do you mean?
Another Ornn game? Wait, whoa.
Yeah, you
But
played
they're
Ornn
all
every
Ornn
wait.
game. What do you mean?
Oh god.
Yeah, he picked Swen into Casio.
No, man. And Silas is. Oh, it's not open. Holy crap. Forget. No, man. Not. Yeah, Swain into Cassie is so bad.
Yeah, he picked it, and
It's
then
so
he
bad.
regretted his decision.
Like,
Wait.
what are you doing? Like, Cassier can peel Swain off Swain off when he's in ult. She just like Swain has no like high range harass, and you're just in Cassier's wheelhouse all game, and she just does more damage than you in that range. So it's like you're throwing E and W and like queuing him max range, and it's like she's gonna find an all in somewhere. Yeah, I mean,
After 2 items, you're like a punching bag to Casio. Like you never kill her, and she just kills you.
Disgusting R5s from Monkeys both games. I'm glad they lost. I didn't even see the draft. I just tuned in because I zoned out after 2-0. I was like, yeah, my prediction was 3-0. He's gonna look like a clown.
The Karma R4.
R4.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. Stop capping was just like licking his lips for Ornn again. He's like, lock me that shit right now.
So we didn't talk about this. This is game number 4, right?
Yeah.
So game number 3, Panda actually had a really good game. I think he had a good game all 2 games on Cassante. Like he really had a good game. And then I was really surprised when they're like R1 Ornn, and they didn't ban Cassante. I'm like, dude, you just got destroyed in lane.
Run back.
Run it back. He's like, I don't care, run it back. And then he ran it back and he went 0-7. I was like, yeah, what did you expect? It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was thinking you were gonna touch on that in this game too, because you mentioned Ornn is picked every game. I'm like, well, hopefully they ban Cassante when they go into game 2 before Ornn gets picked.
Yeah, if they picked Cassante game number 2 and they picked Cannon, they probably would have won the series.
I will say, I don't like Karma here at all. Like, sure, you can speed up Swain if he's running in there with like Rylai's on his ult, but usually you pick Karma with carry tops or like Olaf jungle. So then you have a very threatening fight. Like their entire team is kind of doing different things. Like Kane wants to just go in and hit everything. Swain kind of wants to be the mid line. Zaya wants to be back line. Ornn exists. And then you look at Conduit's draft and they have a very clear front to back double carry comp. They also have the options to deal with Swain and just walk away.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Karma like enables like some of the team well, but I don't know about ball pairing, but I just don't think that's like the one. Like I don't think you want to run Saya Karma.
Yeah, I don't think so either. This
Like,
feels
It's
bad.
weird.
I don't know.
It's not a lane that
I don't think so either.
dominates most things. It's not a lane that goes even. It's not a lane that goes safe. It's just two champions you could put together.
Is Alistar open?
Yeah. Alistar's
Why don't they
open.
just take Alistar? What? Isn't
I don't
Alistar just better? Like you can like if Zeri tries it all in, you can bump her, you can bump it, Rel's engage and like just run them down. If you disrupt her engage, then you can just Zaya can just like free hit.
They didn't know it was Rel yet, but you do know Zeri pretty much almost exclusively gets put with engagers. Sometimes she gets put with Lulu and Janna, but it's usually like Nautilus, Alistar, Rakan,
Well,
Rel.
Alistar's just like a good it's just a good champion in like most games. I don't know. I think it does pretty well into Zeri, all things considered.
Also,
like
Alistar, if he headbutts Cassante away, he doesn't do anything for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know why teams don't do this, but you see as they're locked in and you're not picking why
Rakan.
Nautilus.
You're not
Yeah, you
picking
can go Nautilus.
Rakan with Zaya and taking away from Zeri
Also,
as
yeah,
well.
it's definitely better Rakan than. I don't think Karma achieves anything in this game. Like, what is she doing? She's like trying to buff Kane, who has to go red, and he's not like in a happy place either. He's playing into a Cassio Zeri, like he's never gonna cast them. Like he won't even go blue because he's just gonna die with CC. It's like a really bad draft in my opinion, especially because you picked Zaya into Zeri, and Zeri doesn't have to come into you ever. Like the team fight goes on, and then she has 800 range on her Q, and you're like never inviting her.
She just hits front and she's. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of not also went over my head, but I think that there's a lot of picks. You're just giving Rel like also, like if they're split and Rel gets a good look, you just have like a champion to look on now. Because like Zaya's safe from Rel engage, but like Karma has like a little bit of an ego, and like you got a sum from her, and Rel just sends it, then they can win easily.
And then you have like the glue pick, that's a Swain. That's like, okay, guys, I'll stand in front of you guys in drain tank, and then he's like shafted to the lane.
Okay, Swain is really overrated. I think it's a good champ, but this is a disgusting Swain pick, like vile.
Yeah, dude, I really like Swain, but ever since the durability update, and then they power corrupt the damage anyways, like he is not as bulky as he needs to be. I feel like Swain's almost exclusively like a tank shredding counter pick. And this game is almost that because there's Amumu, Cassante, Rel. But once there's Cassio and Zeri here who have really good consistent damage, Swain becomes a lot harder to play because they should be able to just punch through him anyways.
Yeah, I think Swain should be coming through. Like, say they do like blind like Annie or like some sort of like ego like blind like melee champ. Like you pick that all day, but like this is vile. Like this is not okay that they picked it here because like you said, they have a lot of consistent damage. It's a terrible lane for Swain. Like you're gonna be behind. Cassio's gonna do a lot more in the late game if you're behind on Swain. Like Swain, people think that his R is like you're invincible. You're just not. Like it depends how strong you are. You can be invincible, but you're not gonna be invincible.
I mean,
Cassio.
all of Swain fights are like you're just letting your R hit frontline until the backline uses their ability on your frontline, and then you can step up.
Yeah. It's just hard because there's no like from the backline carries of like Zeri or like Cassio. There's no like key cooldown. Like maybe like Cassio R, like you can step up a bit. Like that's a pretty good cooldown to get in order for you to step forward. But like you still don't want to walk into Cassio Swain. You're gonna get burned so quickly.
Yep. I don't know about the R5, so
like just take like a lot of people are hesitant to take like like I said before, with like the whole like Crow dynamic where they have like a weird time counterpicking some of these Stonewall like mid mages like Six particularly that I don't personally like in mid lane, but he can function into other mages pretty well. But I think that what was I gonna say? I think that the control mages like the normal like Victor or like Syndra into Cassia is just so much better here on R5. Like it gives Cassia such a harder time in lane.
I mean, Syndra is so good in this game.
Yeah.
You pick Syndra rolls kind of useless. You just have afraid of a Mumu Q from blind.
Syndra also is just similarly good enough disengage for Cassante.
Yeah. Also burst towards Ari. Yeah. That's just there's a champion right there. They could have just won the game.
Just like don't pick a champion that wants to play in Cassia range. That's all I got. Like just anything that can stay out of her range and like apply consistent pressure. Azir's fine. I mean, it's like
yeah, I guess it's
like there's a
a
it's a bit sketch with like say you're like sleeping at the wheel and like you like realistically with Azir you obviously shouldn't you should be just like harassing with like Q and like just auto once. You shouldn't be like going in for like a full-fledged trade into her, but like you can get caught with like Cassio W and just like a jungle gank or something. And his range isn't like particularly good, but yeah, something like Cinder or Victor's just a lot better here than Swain. It's just so bad.
Yeah.
A lot better here than Swain. It's just so bad.
Game 5.
Yeah. Game number 5.
Donut Masterclass. In a bad lane too. Well played. Donut Masterclass.
Why is that screenshot so small, Dale?
I will just I don't know why they made this one smaller than the rest. But yeah, I messed up. This needs to be the draft. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so they just picked Zeri.
I'm upset about like you were saying before with like the Batman like champ pool. Like I I wish that they played like a game that wasn't the Udyr game because they could have won actually if he was playing like a champ he actually knew or like just played the playstyle. Because like he's picked a Mumu, Jarvan, and like what were the other picks? Like it was all enablers except the one random ass Udyr game. Like I don't know what that was. That was a throwaway game for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
They were testing the waters.
The thing is, one of the hard things about comp is like figuring out what your strengths are and also playing within those. And Batman's is very clearly on supportive jungles or jungles that can start fights, and every once in a while he doesn't like that and then he tries to pick something else and it just like never works.
Yeah, but you like when you do that, you need to be like you need to have scrim games on it, obviously, and like it's hard because you can't be like the main character all the time and be like, okay, I'm just gonna pick this champion and like I don't play this playstyle, but like the supportive role is not working because like you need to have the good tendencies of one of those carry like Kha'Zix or like one of those champions like Kindred or whatever, like just like pushing the boundaries and like trying to like push your advantage and not just looking for like advantages in lane. So it's so weird to just like completely derive from or like just go off the path of what you've been playing, especially in like a big time scenario like the playoffs.
All right, I don't know if you watched this game, Cody, but Batman,
yeah,
he started red,
yeah,
he ganked mid, got nothing from it, and then he started clearing his bot side while Viego finished all his camps.
yeah.
And then I think he invaded on his correct, I don't remember, but it was like such disgusting pathing. Like he got nothing done in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
And he was also like, he also showed where he was on the map because he tried to gank mid.
Yeah.
And Victor just knew where he was. That was really sad because he lost a lot of tempo off that, and Viego just got ahead for free.
Yeah.
That was really sad. because he lost a lot of time off that.
I
But
don't know.
also, I mean, also like I understand some people like okay, I can't be playing supportive champions all the time, every time, and like pick me something to play. But then also the team needs to be like, all right, this is your game. We'll play around you. But that Udyr game, that didn't happen, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna pick something and you're gonna like give in to something like, oh my support wants to play fucking roll call support, then we play around that roll call support. Like we don't be like, okay, you do your thing and we'll do our thing, and then nothing works out ever. It's just
I know this dynamic well because my jungler is the inverse of Batman, and you know, if he's playing a supportive champion like a Maokai or a Jarvan, which he doesn't usually do, then we need to like flip the switch and like actually change our playstyle because we have to focus like when he's playing the full clear champs like the Kazakhs, like you need to cycle your camps till you're 6 before you can play the game, but we also need to like keep him safe. But if we're playing the supportive champs and we're not prepping our waves in order to like actually open up the plays for him, and we don't actually change our mindset going into the game, but we swap champions, the game's just doomed. Because I don't know, I didn't watch like the lane state when Batman came mid, but if that was like
no, that
a
was bad.
if that was a thing where they said it like before the game even happened, he even checked lane state after red and just darted straight mid and just went for the play regardless of like the percentage of it working. Like that's just a bad mentality. You have to adapt. Like you need to do your red buff. You need to be like, what are the chances I blow some here? If it's under 50, I should probably just continue clearing because I'm flipping the game at 2 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they just didn't talk about it because Syndra was like somewhat pushing into the Victor. And it was like the Victor was really safe under his threat, and he was playing on the opposite side, like opposite pocket of where Batman wants him to play.
Yeah.
And it just never happened. Like he tried to gank, and Victor just walked away.
Did they
You're
have
talking,
vision of
like,
society further?
They knew he
Listen.
started red, so Victor's already positioned on opposite side of the map, and
No,
then you went
no,
for it
it's-
anyways.
Yeah,
I don't think they knew where he was. Maybe they just assumed that he's gonna start in camp, like go mid, and he was just playing on the opposite pocket, which is like good on him, but also like as a Syndra, you're also not supposed to be pushing out. Like if your jungle is saying that he's gonna come, which is like a team dynamic thing again, as you said, like good teams have like the mentality that you guys have is like, oh, my jungler is playing Maokai, so we gotta play according to that. But also, if my jungler is playing Kha'Zix, then we gotta help him farm a bit, and then he can carry us later.
Yeah.
So
What
I think that
is-
if
What's with the
Sorry.
Syndra and Morello when the only healing is Viego?
do not know.
he's gonna lose
I
his
mean,
mind.
the Oblivion Orb, like, that's a difference of the Rabadons being complete this game and possibly carrying the game.
I don't like Leandri's either on Syndra personally, but I mean the Morello is like definitely a bit cursed, but I mean I don't know. I think from what I heard from level 1 of my Jarvan, just going from red buff to mid gank with no actual like thought at all. I think the game's already lost because how you made it sound, if he's down like 4 or 5 camps on first clear, then it's so hard to play. Like it's actually impossible.
Yeah, he lost too much time. But I mean, I don't know how much like that influenced Batman because he was behind in CS obviously, but he was still trying to like do stuff on the map. He just wasn't able to do or like get things going. You can see like he had no damage that game, and he was also like dying a bit. But it's like you lose so much tempo trying to go for that play, and then you like can't even salvage because your team is not ready for it, and which is like kind of weird to me. Because if the enemy team can think about it, then your team can think about a level 2 gank too.
Yeah.
So, did Bard not roam? How else does Bard have 7 kills and Victor is fed this game if Bard didn't leave bot? Like, the whole point of
Depends.
Bard, Ezreal, is you can just leave Ezreal on an island.
I don't remember that exactly. I think he did. Oh my god, I just remembered something. This whole series, these top players are like playing tanks or like bruisers, and we're like camping these bruisers. like half the time, and like nothing's happening. Like in the orange game, like earlier, like I don't know, Batman maybe on the moo, he was like camping that Orn like a few times, and nothing happened. Like Orn didn't die; they just walked away. And one game where he was playing Kasante, like Trash Panda, the enemy support, enemy jungle is like camping him, and there's like nothing happening. We're just this game was like really bad on like gang timers. They just didn't want to do it. I think even in this game, he was trying to go top, and a few times that I saw that he just went top and did nothing from this.
Like that. I mean, it depends on like the bot lane in the game, like the game state, but like I get the whole like leave Ezreal on island, like he is function well on weak side, but it depends on like the strength of like the enemy bot lane. Like if he's forced off the tower, then he or Bard could be pinned bot to like help him collect CS. So it's like it depends. Like he could just like completely like F over Ezreal and just like roam anyways, but it depends. Like he could at that point it comes down to what we were talking about before with like the like Shen Nocturne sort of like high execution comps where it's like you're playing Bard, which is like I would say like mechanically like difficult for a support, but it's also difficult than others, or more difficult than other sports, because you need to think about other roam timers that don't exist on other champs, and then also like making the plays happen without like messing your bot line up enough. Hold on, give me a second.
Yeah, I mean it's generally just harder to roam against an Nautilus who can just kill your lane under your turret. Even if it's like an Ezreal, like post 6, there's not much Ezreal can do on the turret. Nautilus just presses R and like post 6 called it today. So yeah, it was like I think it was a hard fought series, but like obviously because it went to game number 5, but I feel like if they had a little better drafting, that I think Kraken could have just simply taken the games. Because as good as like Birdon did, I feel like a lot of times he was just he was getting the game was just going in his favor. It wasn't like him proactively making any plays. But I guess that's like a skill to utilize.
I'm back. I just
You're
got
right.
raided. I got raided by my dog.
God damn.
Dude,
Yeah,
what
this series is rough.
was with Anasmas on Bard? I've never seen this before.
I don't know. Like that champ just like goes to the item shop and like picks whatever. I know. I know.
Whatever.
I think Frozen Heart's like popular on Bard now. I don't know if it's probably not great this game, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's one of those games where you probably already lost anyways, but yeah, it's
looking at his core build, it's usually lock it into Deadman's and then either Heal Cut or Knight's Vow.
Yeah, Deadman's is good. I forgot about that.
I'm just not sure what Anasmas does when like you look at the opposing team and it seems like all three of them are fed between the Viego, Victor, and Zeri, so
Yeah.
you're just kind of picking which two are gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's so bad. I agree, but yeah, Bard is that's a champ, very good champ, but holy, like it either loses games or wins games. It's it's the most coin flip thing I've ever seen. I would not game 5 personally, but
I mean, you can't fault him for it. It's like his one trick.
Yeah.
So. I mean, you can't. I would also play my one trick regardless of how bad of a champion
I
it
did
is.
not know that. So.
Ready for last series?
I did not know that. Yep.
Last series.
Alright, we got Bing Chillers versus Sun
Oh
Hydra.
god, this was a bit of a one-sided game, like series, I think. Oh god, this was I didn't catch like the whole series, but they just kind of ran over the other team.
Yeah, it was the only 3-0 for AGL playoffs.
How are both solo lanes in favorable matchups for blue side this game?
I don't really know.
Like, how does that even work? I need to see this draft. Wait, they have 0 R5'd into. Oh my god. No, man. Oh my god. These R5s tonight are.
Dude, they need R5 training.
It's so bad.
Which matchup does Azir even want? The Nautilus mid?
It's so bad. I don't like. It's just disgusting. I mean, as like, sure, you take a 0 on 4, they pick Silas, you're fine, but like, Azir is like not really a counter pick champ at all, really. So just take him on 4 if you want to play him.
Well, to be honest, it looks like they had two people that didn't really want to counter pick.
No, yeah,
They're like
I mean,
tossing a fucking hot potato between each other. Like, I don't want hot counter pick, man. You could take two of the most blindable solo laners in Azir and Ornn and you put it on the back half of the draft. Why not just save it for support or jungle at that point?
Yeah, that goes back to like the whole Kraken thing where I wasn't flaming the R5 support because it's like, you know, there's some players that when they get the opportunity like this in the first game of the series to like make a statement on R5 and they go Azir and it's like, and then we like lose really hard and it's like, well, if they don't have confidence in taking draft resources, then don't give it to them. If they're not confident in a lot of picks, they need a big champion pool to take that spot. And that's why I usually don't even take it in mid lane because I think that there's other roles like support and top that have more like polarizing matchups. So if you're just gonna play control mage, like why are we here on R5 picking mid? But whatever.
I mean, it just looks like they did not have a good game at all. The Ornn is 1-5, the jungle is 0-7. Mid is 5 dust, ADC is 5 dust, Braum 7 dust. I'm not even sure why they wanted Braum here. I'm not even sure why.
I don't know. I don't think it's like that bad in bot lane. I don't know.
But Zay's not even one of the ADCs that you pick Braum with.
Yeah.
Usually when you pick Braum, if it's not specifically counter and ultimate, it's with like Lucian, Tristana. Jinx isn't terrible because she gets low free attack speed. But I think his bot pairing is really awkward. And then they've kind of just like, I don't know if Azir is necessarily countered, but they got nothing off of their last two picks other than line champions. And red side is supposed to be the counter side. Like, Braum doesn't win them anything. The 0 or 5 doesn't win them anything.
Both solo lane matchups are like pretty bad, so I mean the game's just lost pretty much off that. But I think that Bank Chiller's our favorite anyways, but I mean, I don't know. This is something. I mean, Cassio R5 just goes completely crazy. It has a hard time dealing with Jinx, but like the other 4 are just like crying playing into that champ. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't look at this anymore.
A bit interesting.
There's not enough to talk about because it's just so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull up game 2.
Another lurk 10-0 performance.
I have not seen Ophelio so long. I don't even know if this is his build.
Yeah, is it? It's just the crit build. Crit's not good.
Is that top matchup good for Sion?
I don't know why they did
Surely
this.
Like, oh my god.
Dude, they don't know how to use counter picks. Like, you could have just blinded Seraphine and flexed it between mid support. And this Sion into Ornn's such a question mark. if you were going to pick a tank into Scion, you would pick Ornn or Maokai because they both have a lot of displacement and percent health damage. Scion doesn't do a whole lot against Ornn, honestly.
I mean, hey, at least like the mid laner of this game like picked the blind champ and like picked it. I mean, Maokai Jace is like obviously strong, but you need to be able to pilot Jace. I think he did okay this game. Definitely like the what was it? I don't know if it was ET or some other like article that did like the valiant effort. He definitely gets it for this game for the losing team, but I mean again, they just blundered another topside counter pick and they're prowling Braum pretty hard. I mean, Braum is actually a lot better this game
Braum
for
makes
sure.
sense this game.
Yeah, Braum is a lot better this game actually, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I think the draft on Sunside has potential. You have a poke core and you have triple frontline. The problem is that if Jace or Ezreal don't get ahead, you have no third carry in this comp. And that's kind of what happened. I mean, Jace died 5 times.
I mean, I can see what they were just trying to go for poke comp and peel back. It's just they at no point were they ahead. I guess just looking at this, they were just all behind all the time. And
Yeah.
Jace from behind is not a champion.
I don't like the Nautilus pick that much for being chillers.
I think Nautilus is just one of the better hard engage pairings with Aphelios. And based on how last game went, they're probably counting on just beating
Them in lane.
right? And they clearly beat them in lane. Aphelios has 10 kills.
I don't know. I would.
Braum is good into Nautilus, but also Nautilus like one of the best blind engage champions. You just can't go wrong with that guy. You have a point and click ability. Your stun is you have like unlimited CC, all that shit. So it's just works, I think.
I don't know. My take is like I see Ezreal and they're obviously a little bit hesitant to like force their hand in bot lane for blue side, and like I would just want like Lulu or something on red, but
I mean,
I don't know.
they got to play their first game, so they had a feeling for what they could pull out, and they were able to show it works. So, I think if you're against evenly skilled, for sure, I would probably lean on something like Aphelios Lulu, but they didn't feel like they were evenly skilled, so they went Nautilus.
Yeah.
Also, the Seraphine Ornn ult combo potential is just so disgusting. Absolutely love that. And then also, the Nautilus pick is important because they have Sejuani jungle here. So this is just solidifying that they want to make bot lane the lane they're playing through. Like you can see Ornn has 1 kill, 14 assists. Sion only died 4 times, so Sedge most likely camped bot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that makes sense. I'm just not a huge fan of Sejuani anyways, but
I think Sedge is a lot better than she gets credit for because people don't pick the stuff that goes well with her. Like, pick Sejuani with Fiora, Camille, Nautilus, Rakan, and you're going to have a good time. But I've seen quite a few, like, gold to emerald games where Sejuani is being picked and there's one melee champion. Like, people don't pick Sedge with Silas enough as well. It's a good combo.
yeah. I think if Sun doesn't like pick this like passive sort of B5 pick, then I like their draft a lot better, in my opinion. But
I don't know what they thought was going to happen with Sion. I'm guessing he just doesn't have the counters up because there's a lot of things you can play strong into Ornn. Like there's Mordekaiser who's easier. If you have the hands, Cassante is good. Fiora is good. Camille is good. Jax is a skill matchup. Gwen is kind of a skill matchup early. there's just a lot of options in Dorn, and he took none of them.
They already have a lot of beef, and they're playing.
They also need AP. Well,
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Gwen or Rumble.
Yeah.
Gwen, Rumble, or Mord. If you go more aggro, Mord with Riley's Riftmaker plus something else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They have a lot of beef already in Maokai and Braum. Rumble would be cool because, like, I mean, how the game would work out with like their sort of comp is like, one, they get to the objective first. They have inside track on objective, and they're like controlling chokes with the poke of Ezreal and Jace, and then Rumble just adds on to either one, like zoning them off further from entering into a choke, or two, like even if they're late to an objective and the other team starts, it gives them an option to force them off with like a huge amount of poke with like Rumble ulti plus like JCQ and like Ezreal ult. If they're stacked on an objective, it's like kind of insane how much you can do to force them off, and then potentially take it for your own team.
I also do like Rumble with Maokai, because if Maokai ult snags a squishy, Rumble's ult has high enough range that you can just throw it onto someone and it basically kills them from full, or just kicks them out of a fight.
Yeah, I just don't think they require this much frontline to function, especially when Ezreal's super like
independent.
He has self heal. Yeah, he doesn't require like the sort of frontline that like a Jinx or like a Kog'Maw or one of those mobile champs with like they need to commit more to the fight in order to play. So yeah, I think something with more damage, ideally AP, and also just fits into the style of like just like controlling choke points with this Chase Ezreal would be a lot better.
Oh, alright. Gonna pull a plus game.
I want one good Sun counter pick this game.
I don't know if you're getting it. This is R5 Talia into
R5 Talia.
What?
Jungle. I mean, I like Yasuo and Syndra, so they already granted me a little bit of sanity. He did take exhaust, a bit ill, but
they actually almost won this game.
No, I mean, yeah, this is the game where they just blinded Syndra. The thing that's good about blind, it's super good blind champ. There's not many champs that do particularly well into it. I would say Yasuo is one of the champions that's does pretty well into it. It
I'm
looks
shocked
like
by
here.
Early Poppy pick.
I mean, it probably. I don't know how Kindred versus Poppy is in the jungle. I know they sent it top, but.
Well, I mean, you can
fine.
use E displacement or ult displacement to get someone out of Kindred's R, but the thing is, if you use Poppy R, they're out of kill range. It's not like the Gragas Kindred interaction.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're fine sending it to both roles this game. I don't think it's that bad. I like Sun a lot better this game, and it looked like they showed up a bit better.
I think I would like to see Malphite top more than Poppy top.
Yeah, I have no idea how that matchup is. So.
I mean, it's not bad. It's more so not for the matchup, but just
functions
to
well
set up for Yasuo. Rel ult is just, I mean, Rel W is just really telegraphed.
Yeah. They have 2 immobile carries too. I think it's decent. I mean, at least they. What were the other 2 times on the game? Were they like complete stomps? They got to 45 minutes here. That's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, second game was 27.5. First game was 30. So not really
I mean,
stompy, because I consider stompy like 20 to 23 minutes.
yeah, I mean, for gold, I would say like 26, 27 is like a pretty like thorough win. I think that it should be earlier, but
Yeah,
obviously the
that's
macro isn't like there to end in like 20, 25 minutes. But yeah, I mean, 30, 34. I mean, at least they put up a fight. It looked like whatever the 30-minute game probably should have been over quicker because the first two looked completely unplayable for Son. But yeah, I mean, I think Red's draft's just a lot better. They didn't throw away picks. I mean, I think I agree on the top side a bit. I mean, Poppy's probably fine into Scion, but I think that something to enable you also would be good. I think Poppy functions fine in jungle, but on the other hand, Talia looked like it put in a lot of work here. So
It's just more so like when you're thinking about they had to have prepared a Yasuo pick. Like I doubt they just saw Syndra Kindred and thought we have to play Yasuo now. And if you're preparing for picks, usually your earlier stuff kind of hints towards it, at least with hindsight. And you know top is going to be AD. You know ADC is probably going to be physical. And even if the opposing top isn't physical damage for Malphite, it's probably going to be a tank again. So I think early pick Malphite could have worked. And then you go from there.
yeah, I mean,
But let's talk about playoff brackets, yeah?
sure.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't finished the whole thing yet.
Yeah, but we can talk about the matches that have finished, right?
The seeding still needs to happen.
The seeding needs to happen. It's impossible.
Yeah, we are waiting on this final series. Seems like Clown Gaming is winning pretty handily. Yeah, they have a reseeding thing where the highest plays the lowest. So out of Clown Gaming versus PF, whoever wins, if somehow PF wins, then they'd be playing Ruby, I think, because they're lowest out of everybody that won.
How does that work though? Because there's two 1 seeds.
Well, there's so technically, I don't know. So here, I don't know if game record goes over the series record, because again, if game record is higher value, then we're like second seed, I think. Oh, sorry, third seed. But if series score matters more, then we're second seed. And I don't know which one's which, so I don't really know which one's going where. But we know that Ruby's #1 seed, so Ruby's gonna play whatever the lowest seed is going to be out of all of these teams that have won. Lemon was lower than Dreadnoughts?
Well, no, I'm just saying, assuming that CGS wins.
So
yeah, I mean it's going to be either Litmon or PF Dreadnoughts because Rocket Fires were higher than Rocket Fires and Bang Chillers were higher than these two. So
let's just do it off CGS winning.
Yeah, if CGS wins,
Litmon versus Ruby.
Yeah.
And then Elysium Moment versus Rocket Pills. Is that how that works?
The lowest would be, yeah. Who's our 4 seed?
Rocket Pills is 4 seed, and then the other two, or the other quote unquote winners in Clown Gaming and Bing Chillers would go to the 2 seeds.
If you said Litmon plays Ruby, then Elysium would play Monkeys now. Sorry, Dreadnoughts now, because they're like theoretically last place in our division.
Well, yeah, Dark. I'm going off the assumption that Clown Gaming wins the round of 12 game.
Okay, I'm stupid. Never mind. Yeah, so.
Well, that's the only way we can do it, right?
Yeah, if Clown wins, then you get Litmon, they get Rockefellers, then we get.
Do you have the
Oh, we get Clown, I think. I
The
don't know.
standings, X, do you have like
I
the...
can pull that up.
So compare Clown Gaming Spartans versus Bing Chillers, their series score and their game record, like plus or minus, because I'm assuming that's how they'll determine like the third best team, right, or the second best team, right, is off like if they have the same record, then it's worse game score. Or does that make sense? I don't know how it works, but I'm just like trying to see what they would do.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. That's why I was like not even trying.
I'm just gonna try for content. Okay, Bing Chillers is plus 10. What is CGS is plus 7. Okay, so it's just, and then what is it? ET Solar has a better, yeah, you guys were 8-1 as well, right?
Yeah, I mean we should be second seed because we have a better game record and we have a better series record now. We're plus 11 and they're plus 10. And we're 8-1. So we should just be second seed. But
I mean, no, because like I think it's based off the individual conferences, right? Because you gotta buy, but you're 2 seed in industrial, and then the 1 seed is Omen and Arcane. So I'm assuming they get like better seeding than you. It's unfortunate, but I think that's how it'll work.
could be, yeah. I mean, I have no idea, so it could be true.
Okay, let's go off. Okay, so Bing Chillers is plus 10, CGS is plus 7. So it'd be Ruby, Litmon, Rocketfeller's Omen, and then ET Solar would get the better matchup in the 3 seeds, which is CGS, and then CB Aurora would go with... Wait, no, ET would get... Yeah, ET would get Bing Chillers, and then CB Aurora would get... Yeah, okay. So go off that. So Dynar, okay, Dark, Dynar or PF Dreadnoughts?
Ruby.
Sure.
100% 3-0.
Okay, I'm going that too. I don't think X, do you even know anything about these teams?
Dude, I know very little about the teams. Like, if I pull up the rosters, I'll know a couple players, I can guesstimate, but that's what you are here for. I'm here to give you the platform to share your opinion to the world.
Okay, yeah, so, I mean, me and Dark can speak more on that, so I'd go for probably 3-0. And then what would next be? Next is Aurora versus Bing Chillers. That's actually a banger.
That would be a banger. I think both teams really have a good ADC. I think if that matchup is to happen, in my opinion, I think CB could take the win just by
an inch. Will. I'm saying 5 games.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a 5 games, 100%. But I also feel like they have a better aggressive top laner that's like you can play Ornn into every game.
3-2 CB Aurora, I would say.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Which would be a banger to watch, actually. Let's make that happen. Make it happen.
Might have to reschedule our game. PFD coming through. Bringing out the popcorn for CB Aurora versus Bing Chillers, clear comps.
Yeah, they're friends like that.
Okay. Eclipsing Tide Solar versus Clown Gaming Spartans.
Think a close. Oh, I want to give it to us. 3-2, obviously.
I'm saying 3-1 ET Solar.
Damn, alright.
Dude, he's repping our name more than you. Come on, Dark.
I'm just being realist. What do you want?
Dude, you always say 3-2 if you're involved. You gotta share your confidence with the world.
Clown is a good team. Like, I don't want to put them into they're tied for 1. Like, technically, I mean, game record is bad, but other than that, like, match record is the same. So
I don't know, bro. I mean,
maybe they're just bad.
They're not really beating Dreadnoughts that handedly right now. I mean, they're up 1-0, but the second game's looking a bit
close.
I mean, it's like 4K gold lead, but it's like whatever.
On Solar, on solo. If you beat Poppy solo, you beat the team, guys. Come on.
Okay.
Whoa, why are you leaking the
So,
strats?
I'm just making sure. No, I'm not getting ganked. So yeah, if you're here, if you're listening and you somehow play against us, yeah, just know the strat.
My predictions were so bad round 1 though. It's actually embarrassing.
No, you were
Most of
just
them-
rooting
most
for
of
the
them are
underdogs.
meme, but I mean, it's still funny. And then what was the last one? Omen versus Rocket Fellas.
Oh, that'd be a banger too. I think.
I think it's 3-0, bro.
You think
3-0
it's
which
3-0?
way? Wait.
Yeah. Omen.
This is like the only. Dude, I don't know. Dude, Omen.
The thing is, if you check Omen, it's like they lost to like
New Moon.
absolutely boosted teams.
Yeah,
No
they only
offense.
lose to bad teams, apparently.
No offense, but what you call it? They 2-0 TGS like easy. So it's really hard to read them. But I think Rockville's is like not that good. So I think it's like it's 90% of 3-0, like maybe a 3-1.
I would go with a 3-1 slow series in my opinion, but yeah.
Okay. I respect 3-1. If you said 3-2, I'd be a bit worried.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. This prediction is just scuffed anyways because we're just like
Yeah.
inferring, and then we don't even know how the seeding works. But like,
Yeah.
I
mean,
it's gonna be really
it's worth
funny
a
because like,
shot. And
no,
then,
I know, yeah. Who knows how it works? Whatever.
Honestly, one of the things it's a blessing and a curse. The more you play with the same people, you get more synergy, but also more teams know like what you're going to pull out and what your team tendencies are. And it's kind of up to whoever is facing them to use their extensive data and information on Omen to draft a gnarly thing against them. But drafts in this elo range are so coin flippy that you're gonna have to probably do a hands difference. And I think it's possible for sure, but it is really up to the players they have. And I don't know if they do it actually.
I mean, Elysium, but I think they just have better players, yes. But I also feel like Rocket Flyers have like a weird thing where it's like a lot of people think,
kind of
oh, in comp you play these champions, and then in like solo queue you play these champions, and you play a certain way. Or like the few games that I played against Rocket Flyers are like, oh, we were just playing solo queue. It's like it's not that different.
Yeah.
You're just like running down your enemies like if you were playing solo queue, and it's like, oh, that could catch teams off guard and be like take a game off. But it also like Elysium has shown weakness to losing to bad teams. So if you consider them a bad team, then might be Rockefeller's favorite anyways. Just by stats, but yeah, it's hard to assume they would lose. Basically,
I think you convinced me a little bit more that like Rockefellers could probably take a game. I'm not going to switch my prediction, but I think that Omen kind of likes playing against teams that are like super streamlined in terms of what they want to pick because they have a lot of flexibility in what they do, but Rockefellers does too. So maybe that gives Rockefellers a slight edge over other teams. Not like I don't think Rockefellers is the best team to like take down Omen, but I think that of the round of 12 teams, I think that they might be the best ones to do it. So
yeah, absolutely.
I would say that Omen would 3-0/3-1 every round of 12 team. So I don't think that me saying Rockefellers gets 3-0/3-1 is like
bad prediction. Yeah,
it's not a bad thing. I think they have the best shot.
I mean, you would also like it's same thing saying like, oh, a lower elo team can take a game off Ruby, but you just wouldn't expect that. Is what I'm like. I wouldn't say 3-0 against Ruby on any team because I feel like all RF, whatever these before games were, like all these teams, they're just a little worse than Ruby is. So like I would never put them at like a 3-1, 3-2. But Elysium, just because they've shown weakness before, it just feels like they would, is what my opinion was. But yeah, it makes sense.
I think that Rockfellas has like a better chance than Bing Chillers because I don't think that like the lyric 1v9 will be as active in that game because I think Dilly's like been there, done that, and I think like if not like winning against Lyric, we'll at least be able to like hold it to a point where it doesn't get out of hand. So I think that Rockefellers with their like weird ass drafting might be able to like have a better shot than like Bing Chillers because I think Bing Chillers is like the best on paper round of 12 team.
Yeah. Just because how dominant they've been in their victories, I think.
Yeah.
Kinda
It's
weird.
just unfortunate that like there's no possible way we can like pair into them because I wish it was like you could just like go down the picking order if like for example like again I don't know how it works but like if just the best 1 seed picks I would just pick Bing Chillers to put them down quick but I don't think that's how that's gonna work so I'm pretty sad.
Right, because it seems like if Bing Chillers figured out like they'll just play bot lane, shut down Lyric, and you're free to win.
Hey, I just think that I don't even think we have to like target a Lyric. It's just like I don't know. I don't think our top side into Bing Chillers is like I don't think it's gonna be close at all, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And I don't think that Lyric can carry through a jungler up 4 levels and a mid laner up 3 levels. So, which is how most of our games have been throughout the season. We did it against them in week 1, so I don't see it changing too much. And I think we've upgraded our roster as well.
Ooh, spicy. Upgraded your roster.
Mm-hmm. I think for our playstyle, yeah, 100%.
Well, hopefully we'll make it through quarterfinals and get to play you guys again. But
Even if we
wishing blood to be shed,
like,
that's brutal.
We see that. What?
You're wishing for blood to be shed? That's brutal.
Sure.
Yeah, we want to go toe to toe again. You know, we won by a stroke of luck, I think.
And yeah, that dragon call. I forget what game it was, but when you guys 20-minute Baron, I was so tilted. Like, that was so obvious. We just like we were up like 5,000 gold, and we can literally just play inside of mid lane and just like shove out mid and just like play on either objective, and it's like really hard for you guys to play. And we just like all on vision, like all of you just see us walk into bot side, and you just 20-minute Baron cheese, and I'm like actually punching my monitor, but it's all good.
Yeah, those were like the games were super one-sided pre-15, and then we were like, okay, somehow we were clutching team fights, and then it's just we won.
That's a story of our team in general. We don't have like the best like
team fighting
main shot caller. I think our team fighting is good. I just don't think we have the best like macro calls because I think a lot of the team fights you guys got that were good in that game where you cheese Baron specifically was when like the game was kind of over because we don't call macro super well in like an even game. But right. I think we like find ways to like get good fights when we're ahead and we can like force it really hard. But yeah, I think once you guys got it to like an even point, then that's where some of the suspect calls and stuff come out. So
after getting cheesed a bit too much with 20-minute Barons, every time I realize it's like past 20 minutes and there's no wards on Baron, like my skin starts tingling. Like, no, this can't happen in my comp game. I just like start telling everyone to ward Baron. What the hell are we doing?
It was just worse how we did it because I can see like getting a 20-minute Baron cheese when like the team that cheeses it is like ahead in the game by a good amount or at least even. But like when the team that loses it is up like 5,000 gold and has like all the tools in the world to like pressure and just walk wherever the enemy team's going, like we could have even like face checked into the topside river there and like you guys can't really do much because like we're just gonna kill you if you try and force a fight.
Right.
So the only possible way that works is if we all show on drag, or not on drag, but we all showed like dipping into bot side river and you just started it up, which was good because that was really the only way back in. But yeah, I mean, what was I gonna say? What is it? Bing chill or semifinals? You were saying, what should I call it? You want to match into us, but I don't even know how that works. Like, is that even possible? This whole format's like up in the air, bro. Like, I don't know.
It is like the most different format I've ever played at League in, and I played like 2 years of comp.
Like, okay, so the round of 12 teams, like the top two pairings and the bottom two pairings, are they bound to the bot and top side of the bracket? Because if that's true, then the whole quarterfinal prediction is out the window.
Yeah.
Like for all we know, it could be Dynar versus like Rocket Fellas and CB Aurora versus Pink Chillers.
Well, all I know of what like the multiple times they've told us is the highest seed plays the lowest seed. So after tonight, I was guessing that whatever the only team that would know 100% or like should already know 100% who they're playing is you guys.
Yeah, well, we'll never play till finals then because you guys are the best 2 seed and we're the best 1 seed.
Yeah, so if that happens,
it's not possible. We're always going to be against Omen.
Yeah, you guys are always the finals.
No, yeah, finals. But he was saying he wants to shit on us and semis. I was like, bro.
Yeah, whoa, strong words. But no, it's more about like trying to test our metal against you guys again. Like last time, obviously, as I said, we won for the fluke. So if we get to play you guys again, maybe you're like a little bit better, and then that shows improvement, and that's all I care about.
I don't think it was a fluke. It's just like,
I mean, you can call it whatever.
Players for like we're inexperienced in terms of like outside of like, I mean, I guess CZ has a decent amount of experience, but he isn't like a big voice, right?
Right.
Like I think I'm like the biggest voice on the team, but I also previously have not been that. So stepping into that role for sure, even if we are like I think for sure in topside or okay, how about this? Less hot take. Mid and jungle specifically, we're number 1 for sure. Like I think undisputed. But it doesn't matter because there's going to be games like that where we're still going to get the lead and we don't have the experience of like being there and like making the right macro call. So we're gonna drop some games doing that.
Yeah, and then
it's not really a fluke.
You already have like the whole season to mesh with the team, right? Like even if you're let's say mechanically or just better, and then you have bad calls in that game, now you're much like you played more together than the last time, and it'll be even harder for us to play.
Yeah,
I would say like fluke. Like I would say usually I would just say like, oh, we just have better macro calls because the team fights we won was like we obviously won because we won them, right? Like I'm expecting everybody from your team to like play as good as they can, and since we won that team fight, just like I'm not saying that you guys are bad and that's why we won the team fights. I'm saying that we played a little better in the team fight that won. So again, I think our early game was horrible, and you guys had our number like literally every step of the way. And now that you have more time with each other, it's gonna be impossible. Is what I would say, but we're gonna win.
I think it's just I don't know. We just have to not walk away from the enemy team on the bot side of the map when it's 1-to-1 in Drakes and we prioritize fucking Cloud Drake over no vision Baron that they just walk up to, but it's all good. We live and we learn.
Yo, tragedy. Well, do you have any closing statements for tonight?
I'll go first. Shout out to Lyric, my goat, D4 Gold League player. Love you. Shout out to X for running the show tonight. It's always fun coming on here. Fun talking about some nice Azir R5s. Love that.
Those are terrible.
All the R5s were pretty nice in these playoffs.
And then shout out to Boostus. I also love you, man. Rest in peace.
Their playoff run has been
Okay, Dark, start going.
Well, I really shout out to all the homies that are playing in AGL right now. It's always fun to watch these games and talk about them, even if it's not like a WOD or whatever, but it's still something to talk about, and it gives us entertainment and content, which I always love. And thanks for ET for making the content. That's about it.
Alright, well, next stream will be the podcast for Titans. It's going to be 8 East Saturday. You know, Cam will be gone this week, so we won't have our regular streams for the matches like we do throughout Monday through Friday. And then I'll see you guys on the other side of the tide.